All right, thanks everyone. Here with Coach Walton, and we will start with anyone that would like to raise their hand for a question. Start with James Ham.
Hey, Luke, how are you?
Good, James. How are you? Nice haircut, by the way.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So we have the countdown to the season. Do you have anything for us as far as starting lineups for opening night, sort of what you're expecting from your group right away early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't have a starting lineup for you, but I do have an excited group to get out and get playing. And today we did today's mainly all recovery out there. We went through some group shooting out of our sets just to continue to get reps and continue to build an understanding of our concepts we're looking for, and then all recovery. So pretty light day, and we got a really good weekend worth of work in, and now it's about getting fresh and sharp for the season opener for us.
Okay, so when it comes to pace, that's going to be sort of the thing that we're talking about early in the season. How do you approach that? I mean, do you want the players to drive themselves, or are you going to be out there screaming and yelling? How do you get them motivated to get up and down the court like you guys want to run this year?
It's both. One, we made a commitment day one of camp, and every player committed to it, as well as to other things. Being unselfish, playing for each other, some other general ideas of who we are as a team, and so they've committed to it. So I expect them to take part of that on themselves, and eventually all of it on. But for now, yeah, I'll be on the sideline, and encouraging them and yelling a little bit when I don't feel like we're getting it out quick. And again, for me, the idea is getting really good at understanding and feeling the balance of getting it out quick, getting it across half court quick, looking to attack before a defense gets set. And then if that's not there, be patient. We're not trying to just jack up shots and get the first open look we can. If we can't get an initial attack within our offense, then we want to get the ball out. We want to move it. We want to make defenses make multiple decisions and really do a good job of being patient and getting the type of shots that we want. And I felt like for the most part, we did a pretty good job of that in the preseason. At least from a baseline standpoint. Now there's a lot of cleanup that's going to happen still, but that's kind of what we'll be looking for, James.
Jason Jones.
Hey, good afternoon, Luke.
Hey, Jason.
Just first thing, looking at the various lineup options you have, whether it's three guards, using Harrison at the 4, then you've got your centers, whether it be Hassan, Rashawn, or even Marvin. Just do you have in your mind a time frame where you want to try different things? I mean, without having a full camp, I imagine there's still a lot of things we haven't seen on the court that you still want to try. So how do you figure out what you still want to look at now that the games count?
Yeah, I have a list of things that I still need to, continue to evaluate and develop. And it's, again, you're going to hear us talk about it all season, learning on the go this year. And that's from the player standpoint and from our group as a whole. Like I want to see, we've been playing Marvin mainly at the 4 since he came back. I want to see Marvin out there with a smaller group playing some 5, getting up and down a little faster. I want to see that 3-guard lineup with, Hassan kind of anchoring down a defense. And then I want to see it with Rashawn out there where we can read 1 through 5. So there's a lot that we're going to get to at times. And to answer that question, James, Jason, it's whenever I feel comfortable that we're ready to move forward, with different options like that.
Yeah, I think yesterday you mentioned the idea that to get to where you want to get to with the team eventually, Marvin and De'Aaron have to be able to shoot. Just in your vision, what does that offense look like where when Marvin is say a 35% 3-point shooter, and De'Aaron's up above that range as well? Like, what does that do for you that's different?
Well, it's it makes us very explosive. It makes us big. It makes us athletic, and it gives us the space that we're looking for, that every team's looking for. You get where you start to separate yourself and take big strides forward. If you can get that type of length and that type of size and still keep your shooting. I mean, look across the mainly the Western Conference right now is where our focus is, but you in the East as well. Is these top teams, they're big. The league's getting big again, and the difference is these bigs have all turned themselves into really good shooters. You got I think AD hit 6 or 7 threes in their last preseason game, and he's playing the 4 for him. So you can go to Millsap shooting threes, for Denver, and you can kind of go down the line. And if you can get that balance between those things, you give yourself a pretty good chance. And I think as Marvin and De'Aaron continue to improve as shooters, that's going to really open up a lot of things for us.
Deuce Mason.
Hey, Luke, I know you guys are trying some new things defensively in the preseason, putting some pressure on after free throws. I'm curious how you evaluated that 4-game stretch. I know it's a small sample size, but what do you think about some of the new things you were doing defensively?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. We talk a lot about this year being a disruptive defensive unit, and to do that, you have to. You got to be able to get deflections. You got to be able to keep the offense a little bit uncertain as far as what the coverage is and whatnot. So it's just a different way to, to try to create energy from that defensive end. I thought our guys did a good job. We got hurt on it a few times. It still needs to get better, but that's something that we'll use throughout the season. Maybe not as much as we did in the preseason, but now that we've got the reps at it, it's something that's in the playbook that we can throw out when we want.
Sean Cunningham.
What's up, Luke? Just when you think of Denver and the challenge they pose, obviously Jokic is so talented. I'm just wondering if you think there's any other challenge like him in the league, and just how unique Jokic is to the league in Denver.
Yeah, he's he's clearly one of the best players in our league, and they run so much of their offense through him as the 5-man, and any mistake you make defensively, he makes you pay for it. So what I do know about Denver and the players and the talent they have and the job Mike's done there and having that system in place for a while, if you just let them run their offense and you don't disrupt what they're doing at all, it's going to be a long night for whoever's playing them defensively. And, I think you saw that in the last 2 preseason games they played against Portland. I mean, that ball was moving around, and there's not much you can do with the amount of shooting and scoring they have with that group. So he's kind of the guy that makes it all work, and he's a heck of a player.
And, we talk a lot about De'Aaron with the extension and the way he played coming out of Orlando individually. How big of a leap do you feel he can make this year coming into this season?
Yeah, he's going to continue to improve. And like I've been saying this whole time, as long as he keeps working on how he's been working and the talent that he has as a player, he's going to get to where we all believe the type of player he'll be and the player that he wants to be. When that'll happen, we'll find out, but he'll definitely get there.
Tony Harvey.
Yeah, Coach, you just talked about Jokic, and I did want to say ask you another question on the other end of the spectrum, because you did talk about everybody's playing big, and there's a lot of big players in the league. Michael Porter Jr., who had some back problems when he came into the league, but made a sudden impact for Denver, when he got out there on the court. What do you got to say about him going into this matchup, this tough matchup that's going to take place?
Yeah, I mean, he's another one, right? He's probably 6'10", shoots the ball like a two guard, flies up and down the court, good athlete, has really made been a nice impact for Denver since they've got him, since they got him playing last season. So yeah, he's another one that's going to be he's a tough matchup for every team.
Sorry about that, everyone. Resume what.
All right. So yeah, he's a very good young player that makes Denver that much more dangerous, and we'll have to really lock into him whether he's starting or coming off the bench.
Of course, my last question, I do want to ask you, since training camp started, is there one player or a couple players on the team that you have seen now and you say, hey, maybe we can do something else different with them other than they're probably given position, at guard, forward, or center? Is there anyone that you see that probably can cover another position that you didn't think would be able to do that at the beginning of preseason?
Well, I think Marvin fits. I don't think there's anyone that we didn't know. This Harrison can guard multiple positions. Marvin, we feel like can guard multiple positions. Glenn has been a nice surprise with that just because he's new to the squad. But I feel like he can guard multiple positions. But not, we kind of knew a lot of the other guys. The returning guys we kind of knew about as far as where their defensive versatility lies.
All right, we have time for one last question. Leo.
Hey, look, good afternoon.
Leo.
Will you prioritize getting Marvin more early touches to get him going a little faster? Say certain spots on the court, like on top of the key, that way, or towards the middle. That way, he has the option to spin right or left, or maybe closer to the paint. Are you prioritizing to get him certain touches?
Well, we want good shots, and we ran the first two preseason game plays for Marvin to get the ball, but we don't want him just forcing it. We want we want him to be a playmaker as well as a scorer. We'll look for him to get good shots, just like we're going to look for everyone else on our team to get good shots. And some plays will be for him, some plays will be if we got someone hot or if we feel like we need to get someone going, and we'll just kind of keep it balanced with that.
All right, we'll do one more to close it out. Jason Anderson.
Hey, Luke. I guess two things real quickly. You're not sharing a starting lineup, but have you made that decision, particularly with the 4 or 5 spots? And then secondly, with health and conditioning, I know conditioning has been a focus. How good do you feel about where you guys are with health and conditioning?
Yeah, I feel like we did a pretty good job through camp, and we pushed our guys. And like I said, we really continued to get after it these last 2 days of practice from a conditioning and competition standpoint. So we're continuing to move in the right direction with that. Health-wise, Corey's felt good today after a hard practice yesterday. Daquan and Jabari are still out but getting better, and everyone else is healthy. So it's not perfect, but it's good. And yeah, with the starting lineup, we're just still evaluating everything, seeing going into the Denver game.
Okay. Thanks, Luke.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.